play the $1,001 Guaranteed $1 Million Sundays tournament every Sunday afternoon on America's Card Room.
The Wynn $550 Wynn Poker Classic, one-day event, $100,000 guaranteed. Hopefully we take home 20 grand tonight or this morning. 30-minute levels, but still a great structure with 20,000 starting chips. It's time to get on the positive side of this bankroll challenge and really make a dent at our goal of $80,000. Selling 20% for this event at 1.2 markup. The rest is all mine. Let's get that sweet, sweet win money and a trophy. I've been here for under an hour. We're on first break. 20,000 starting stack, sitting on 19,000, folded every hand. Much discipline. I've already been approached by a gentleman from Mexico that said, Mr. Boski, love the vlogs. And another player that came up to me and said, love the content, keep up the good work. Feels good to be appreciated in the live tournament scene and online. I've also been told that I should get into broadcasting of some sort. News reporter, anchorman, weatherman. Let's see what happens. With blinds at 300, 600, a young Asian male opens to 1,400 off of a 20K stack. We're on the button with pocket kings and 18,000 chips. So we make it 4,000 to go. Action folds to him and he rips it in, barely having us covered. We're gonna have to call off our tournament life and hope our kings hold. He shows pocket fours. Flop comes Jack, 9, 6. The turn is a 6, and the river is a 7. We get a full double up to 40,000 chips, going to 400, 800. With blinds at 400, 800, 800. We're nine-handed, under the gun, big stack. Tight older gentleman makes it 2,400 to go. We're in middle position with pocket aces. Excellent opportunity to get our stack in there. We currently have about 50,000 chips. So we 3-bet to 6,400. Action folds to him. I'm putting him on a big pair, but he just calls. The flop comes king, king, 10, 2 clubs, 1 spade. He checks, and I check. The turn is a 4 of spades, putting 2 flush draws out there. He fires out 10,000 chips. I'm putting him on a range of ace, king, maybe king, queen, pocket queens, pocket jacks, those type of hands. Betting for value, maybe some sort of big draw. So we just put in the call. The river is an 8 of diamonds. He thinks about it and bets 10,000. This small value bet looks a lot like pocket jacks or pocket queens. I'm about to shove for value, but then he just looks very comfortable. If he's bluffing, there's no reason to shove, and he might not even call our raise with jacks or queens, so we call. He shows king, queen of hearts, and we lose a monster pot. Our aces were cracked. At 400, 800, there's 2 limpers, the last hand of the level. We're in the small blind with ace, queen offsuit, so we pump it up to 4,200. Plays it. Original limper folds, and fun player on the button calls. The flop comes Jack, 9, 6, 2 clubs, 1 spade. I check. Fun player on the button bets 3,000. If he would have bet bigger, I would have folded, but with 2 overs, backdoor straight draw, might be good. He could have a lot of draws, so we put in the call. The turn is the queen of spades. We check, he bets 9,000, and we shove for 30,000. He tanks 5 minutes into the break and puts in the call with Jack, 4 of hearts. The river's a deuce.
Wanted to fold that hand? Oh, 16. I beat the first hand I played. Been here for 20 minutes. I don't know who's playing.
With blinds at 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, action folds to the button. The fun player we've been getting the better of. He makes it 4,500. We look down at ace 4 of diamonds. We have about 140,000, so we make it 15,000 to go. The big blind has 26,000. Of course, we could call out of position, try to play a 3-way pot, but this might induce a jam from the big blind, and we don't really want to call his 26K jam if we just flat call in the small blind. So as played, the big blind does not seem to care that he has no fold equity, and he shoves it all in for 26,000. Button folds and we call. He shows king, jack, offsuit. The flop comes ace, queen, jack, 2 diamonds. We got him crushed. The turn is the 8 of clubs. And the river is the 10 of hearts. He makes it straight. Almost a 60K pot his way. We'll regroup. The very next hand, action folds to under the gun +1, who shoves all in for 15,000. We're on the button with pocket 4s, and we put in the call. Small blind folds, and the big blind shoves all in for 35,000. It's another 20,000 to us. We do not like this situation, but we're getting a good enough price. Even if he shows us an overpair, which he normally has, we still have to put in the call and gamble. Big blind does show pocket kings. Under the gun +1 shover has ace 4 offsuit. I knew I had him crushed, but unfortunately he's got one of our 2 outs. The board runs out all bricks and we lose another huge pot. We now have 70,000 chips coming back from dinner break, going to 1,500, 3,000, 3,000. 1-day event, no bag and tag. Let's just take it down. Let's get that trophy and $28,000. For the last 2 hours, I've been staying aggressive, picking good spots to leverage stacks, getting folds when I need them, getting paid when I need to, more or less. Did lose a big one with pocket 8s versus pocket 3s on 6-4-3. Could have lost more, so we'll take it as a good thing. Currently 360,000 going to 8,000 big blind, 8,000 ante. 26 players remain, 23 pay. Approaching the bubble, and you know what that means. We're going for it. Hopefully we'll have around 500K on the bubble when average stack is 200K, and use that stack to ride to that sweet victory and win classic trophy. Played a ton of hands, so I'll just go over the most important ones. Raised to 35,000 with pocket 6s, get flatted by a 250K stack. 120K stack goes all in, action's back to us. Of course, we isolate He shows 10-9 of hearts. The flop comes 8-7 deuce, 1 heart. The turn is the queen of hearts. He's got half the deck. In the river is a king of clubs. So we fade 400K pot our way. We get it all in. Small blind versus big blind. I have king jack of diamonds. Small blind has ace queen of clubs. 400K pot at 816,000. 16,000 big blind ante. Flop comes 9-8 deuce. Turn is a 10, and the river is a jack, giving me top pair, but giving him a straight. Big 400K pot to lose. Blind versus blind, I check my option with king 9. Could raise, but I could dominate a lot of his limping range, so we could get a good cooler in. Flop comes king 8-6. 2 clubs, 1 spade. He checks, I bet 20K. He calls. Turn is a 3 of spades, so 2 clubs, 2 spades. He checks, I bet 50,000. He check raises to 130,000. He has 225,000 behind. What do you do? I put in the call, planning to call most rivers. River is a deuce of hearts. He checks. I think if I'm going to go for value, decide he's either got me beat or he was just bluffing. Combo draw. I check, and he shows 9-7 of hearts. King is good, and we drag another huge pot. Currently sitting on 800,000, going to 10,000, 20,000, 20,000. Vlog's too short to go over all the hands, but we've been aggressive, picking up a lot of small pots, making some tight laydowns, but not too many. You know the drill. We're gonna keep the pedal on the metal, try to make good decisions. It's midnight at the Wynn.
What you got? Racks on